getting some quiet time on the Camino just to do a video. I posted the promo video for Walk the Cross this year. And I don't know if people know the story of the Walk the Cross, the Clonmacnoise Walk the Cross, and that we did exactly 3 years ago. So this year it'll be the third Walk the Cross. So anyway, we did the men's adoration in Derry, and I met this guy called Anto Crossi. And I said this to Anto at the time. I said, he was a strange character. I said, I didn't really know what to make of him. And he was on to me about Walk the Cross. And I said, yeah, nice idea. I just didn't have the time to do it. And really didn't feel like doing it at all. So, I mean, nothing really personally against it at the time, but I just didn't have the time to do it. Anyway, it got serious 2 years ago, 2023. Anta had been on to me, and I just, I said I'd give it some promotion on my channel, but I didn't feel like actually spending those days walking, which we did. But it got serious when I was in Knock. I went to Knock for confession one Saturday, and while I was in Knock, some strange events happened to me, in the sense that I went to confession. If you don't know Knock, they have a confessional chapel. I went there, went to confession, came out, was in confession, and in the confession chapel in Knock, I hear a voice says, "Don't pray here, go to the adoration chapel," which is the other side of the basilica. So anyway, came out of adoration, went up to the adoration chapel, and then this is a Eucharistic shrine, right? Knock. A Eucharistic shrine. Go into the adoration chapel, and our Lord is exposed in the adoration chapel, but there is nobody there. I kid you not. Now, this was about 11 o'clock that day. Anyway, I did something in adoration which I normally never do. I prostrated myself. They had nice new carpet there. I prostrated myself because where I felt the call to prostrate myself anyway. So, and as there was nobody there, sometimes you don't like doing these things if other people are there. People think you're holier than them. I don't know. But anyway. And while I was prostrate in adoration in Knock's Eucharistic Adoration Chapel, in Ireland's Eucharistic Shrine, our Lord said to me very, very intently that, did I see? And he said, Anto Crossi is going to give you a call after you come out of adoration. That's basically what happened. Very specific, not wishy-washy notion, very specific something. I said, oh, interesting. And so Anto Crossi is going to give me a call after I come out of adoration. And there's only two ways this thing can go after that. I had the phone in my hand as I came out of adoration, right? I had the phone in my hand. I said, well, look, I've come out of adoration now, so come on, ring phone. Let's see what this is going to happen, because this is something very specific that our Lord has said to me in adoration. So I came out of adoration. I went across to the Divine Mercy shop on the main street. And in that shop, there is a beautiful picture of a Fatima cross that was painted by a lady who has since died. People know this story. I mean, beautiful picture. And I said to them, the guy that was in the store, is that picture for sale? He said, no, that's not for sale. We just have it there, but it's not for sale. Anyway, I was taking out my camera, my iPhone, which I kept in my hand, expecting Anto Crossi's call. I took out my phone, held it up to the cross, the Fatima cross in the Divine Mercy shop. It was exactly 12 noon. I was about to take a photograph of this picture, and Anto rings me. Now, needless to say, this is the call that I was expecting. So I came out of the Divine Mercy shop in Knock, and I said, Anta, like, why are you calling me? Like, people think we made this up. Like, there was some conspiracy between Anta and me. There really is no conspiracy whatsoever. I have no connection to Anta Crossie whatsoever. I have nothing there that connects us together at all. We met at the Men's Adoration in Derry, and he gave me this, asked for me to help him with Walk the Cross. He had this vision of doing Walk the Cross in the size of a cross from 4 locations. I have no connections to him. I have to put this clear. And I even said it to Anto, I thought you were a crackpot, right? I didn't say that to him, but I said, this is what, you meet people and you think, oh, Anto's crackpot. But these are the events that happen to Knock. I can't explain them to you. And I remember walking down Knock's Main Street, talking to Anto, saying, look, Anto, this is what's happened in adoration. And our Lord said, you're going to give me a call. He gives me a call. At the very moment, I'm holding up my iPhone to take a picture of a Fatima cross in the Divine Mercy shop in Knock. I kid you not. There are times in my life that these things don't happen. Anyway, what was Anto asking us to do? He was asking us to do this walk over a couple of days into Clonmacnoise and a mass. Nothing radical. Nothing groundbreaking. I said, look, Anto, let's just do it. Let's just do it because look, we're not going to do anything wrong by doing a hike for a few days into Clonmacnoise. I just had to take some days off work and, organize ourselves and a bit, It went brilliantly, right? Brilliantly. Not figuratively, it went brilliantly the first year. I said, and people came along, and I know people that have had conversions from it, and etc., etc. And again, it was very innocent walk, right? Second year, last year, Anto wanted to do it. Now, I said to Anto early on, look, Anto, I can't do Walk the Cross last year, right? I said it to Anto. I said, I'm not, but I promoted on my challenge, whatever, but I'm not going to do it. Because I've taken all my holidays. I've taken 6 weeks to do the Camino last year. So that's it. But I'll promote it. Then along the Camino, I fall, hurt my arm, have to come back to Ireland, cut my Camino short. And so I said, look, I'm just going to do this Camino because this walked across last year, which was, from Mullingar into Dublin, with a beautiful Eucharistic procession through Dublin last year. Absolutely brilliant, with the help of Karen and Brian, Paddy Early, many, Father Fergal. Beautiful procession. I'm just trying to remember it now, and all the priest that actually did that held the Eucharist. His name escapes me, but God bless him as well. It was a very simple walk. Like, it wasn't anything groundbreaking, but this is what we did last year as well. We walked into Dublin. We had a mass at the end, Eucharistic procession through Dublin. Very, very beautiful. And I don't know why our Lord wanted it, but he did. This year, we're going to do the third Walk the Cross. And obviously, I've learned my lesson. If Anto asks me to do it, I will be there doing it. I don't understand why. To be clear, this isn't a project I would do. I don't understand it. I don't understand what's happening at this project. There's something greater than me in this project. That's all I know. Because I'm certainly not saying no, because I know what will happen. Turn of events will have me saying yes, one way or the other. So we're going to do it from St. Patrick's Monument. It's the largest statue of St. Patrick into Belfast. And obviously, poor Anton, he has to arrange all the permissions and he has to do all the things. This is in the north. But for anyone who doesn't know where St. Patrick's Monument is, this is a monument. I happened to just be driving past during COVID, because during COVID, you know, the first year, you know, we couldn't do much. So, you know, we just holidayed in Ireland. And one day out traveling there, we went to Saul, which was the first church where first St. Patrick's Church in the north, and that monument is not far from there, you know. And so I remember going there with the kids. We parked, we walked up to the statue. This was in 2020, and so this is where we'll start the walk. And there's whole layers of meaning to this walk, because you're starting at St. Patrick's Monument. We'll probably pass by Saul, which is the first church in Ireland. It's the first church that St. Patrick built in Ireland, according to what we know. And then we'll walk up over 2 days into Belfast, into hopefully St. Peter's Cathedral. And again, all the permissions have to be worked out, the archbishops and the bishops and the police and all this. So there's nothing really, we're working through it, but this is, you know, what we'll try to do. And look, we'll see where it goes, but our Lord wants this done. Our Lord definitely wants this done, and I don't know why. You know, on the other two Caminos, people that did it, you know, they came, they had conversions, they had healings, they had, you know, our Lord wanted this for some reason. It's definitely not something I would have planned or done, but this is what Anto received in prayer, and so I'm definitely going to support it this year. It's the third year, but I just wanted to kind of give you that backstory on Walk the Cross, on this project that we're doing this year, because again, maybe this is something to do with the renewal of the faith. I don't know. But sometimes our Lord just, you know, sends you out. And this is how our Lord evangelized. This is how they evangelized. They went from town to town. They walked from town to town. If we think about it, over the 2 years of the 2 walks we've done so far, how many towns we walked through? Because in the first year, we were 4 different groups, north, south, east and west, walking into Clonmacnoise over a couple of days. How many towns we walked into last year from Mullingar into Dublin? You know, thousands and thousands and thousands of people saw us walk through Dublin last year. Thousands. If you just think the Eucharistic procession on its own in Dublin, how many thousands of people saw us? And when we walk into Belfast this year, which is a peaceful walk, this is nothing political related. There will be no Irish flags, or again, this will be a simple walk, a couple of Catholics peacefully walking into Belfast. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people will see this. Us crazy Catholics walking from St. Patrick's Monument near Downpatrick up to Belfast. That's what we are going to do this year. Even when Anto had this in prayer, you know, this image of St. Patrick's statue kept coming to me, because we were saying, well, where do we start? And I kept saying, well, Anto knew St. Patrick was a theme, but I was saying, Anto, look, go to St. Patrick's Monument. So Anto went to the monument, and so he knows where it is, and so this is where we will start. And maybe just pass by Saul Church, which is today it's a Protestant church, although they do allow people in. Maybe we'll be able to go into that church or pray there, and then walk on up to Belfast. And this is the story of Walk the Cross, so that people are aware. Again, it's not a project I set out to do at all. Had no interest in it at all. But it's something our Lord definitely wanted us to do. Definitely inspired us to do. So I do encourage this year to make it the biggest Walk the Cross ever. And I think it's something that Ireland needs. And I think in the coming days, it'll become clearer why we need to do this. So, pray for Walk the Cross, pray for Anto, pray for the church. And a big thank you for so many people that helped on the 2 previous years. So many priests, Father Muckler, all the different priests that helped us on the Walk the Cross, all of the lay people as well. Couldn't have happened without you. All brilliant people, and let's see how this goes. But again, this is the story behind my participation in Walk the Cross, which we've done over the last 2 years. And so if you go to Anto's channel, The Narrow Gate by Anto Cross, he's uploaded the promo video, which Chris helped him do. Brilliant video. Mother of Mercy Media. If you ever want a video done, they are excellent at doing video editing, Catholic video editing. So, for anyone that knows Anto, he's an interesting person, and so many people he's helped so many people back to the faith. And again, the more I've known him, the more I've come to appreciate what he's doing. I mean, and none of us are perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. We never get it all perfect, but this is why we need the church. And so working together, we can help on this. I would love to see a Eucharistic procession going into Belfast, into St. Peter's, personally. I don't know if that's possible, because up north, there's a thing called the Parades Commission, and parades and all of this it's not that easy, I think, to do. As easy as it is in Dublin, where you can just talk to the guards and stuff like this. I'm not sure what it's like in the north. So, but I'd love to do a Eucharistic procession into Belfast. But look, we'll let our Lord see what's possible. And who knows, somebody who's looking at this video, maybe you want to help out. Anyway, so the dates are Saturday, Sunday, 13th and 14th of September, which is Saturday and Sunday. It's to do with the exaltation of the cross. And so if you want to come along this year, you're more than welcome. We'd love support, especially if you want to be part of the core team to help us out. Anyway, that's a little bit of the story on Walk the Cross, a history of Walk the Cross, and hopefully you'll be able to come. God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.